Hi everyone, welcome to MAF UK episode 4 already. I'm really enjoying doing that. Right, today, last week we spoke about nutrition. Today, another aspect of MAF method, we're going to talk about heart rate and how to start on MAF method with training and heart rate. And then after that, I'm going to talk to a special guest that has an incredible story to tell us. And then that'll be it for this week. And well, enjoy listening. I hope you keep listening to this podcast and you find it enjoyable. I enjoy making it, so that's all good. So there you go. Listen to it, enjoy it, watch it, and I'll see you soon. Right, so today we're going to talk about one of the main aspects of math methods. Um, the nutrition is very important to get it right, but then once you've got that sorted, you've got to think about your training. Now, math, even though it's been designed by Phil Matheson, the initial math only is a coincidence that matches the beginning of his name. It stands for maximum aerobic function. So, um, to train on the math method is can be quite frustrating at the beginning, but it pays. And the motto is train slow to race fast. So now it's all ruled by your heart rate. Your heart rate is a mirror of your whole body's health and fitness. And now what we mean by aerobic, it's you've got aerobic and anaerobic. Aerobic is basically your cruising pace. If you're a car, that would be, you're going in 3,000 raves and changing gear all the time, doing it very economic and cruising. Anaerobic is your fastest pace. And so you're putting strain on your body. So it'd be like if you push your gears through like 5,000, 6,000 raves on your car. So I'll be pushing the engine just like you would do with your body. So to be able to do that in race condition to a certain point, you need to build your aerobic base. So the more you have a good aerobic base, the more fit you will be in general. So your muscles will react better when you ask them for more. Um, it's basically building the foundation of your body, then you extend. So the method is very simple and it's ruled by your heart rate. So you need a heart rate monitor and either like a chest strap or mine is on my watch. It doesn't have to be expensive and the most precise. As long as it's precise-ish, it's fine. So you have what it's called the 180 formula. So the 180 formula is very simple. You take 180, subtract your age of it. So let's say if you're 30, your heart rate will be 150, or 180 minus 30, 150. Okay. Now there is you can adjust it. There's some rule if you recovering from illnesses or you haven't trained in years, you take 10 out. If you've been ill in the last couple of years before, you take 5 out. So then that will drop you to now 145. If you training consistently for the last year or 2 years and you've got no health problem, then you just bang on. So 180 minus your age. Now, if you have been training a lot during the last couple of years and you've made lots of progress into races and competition, then you need to add 5. So then you will become like 155. Okay, so now you've got the heart rate you should follow during your training. Now, how it works is you need to train, and so you need to warm up first before any training. So warm up can be a walk, brisk walk, or very, very slow jogging. Start your run slow, as you would do usually anyway, unless you want to get injured and go flat out. But so you do a warm up for maybe quarter of a mile, half a mile, depends how you feel. When your heart rate is raised a little bit, like above the 110, 120, depending on what your maximum heart rate is, then you start your training. Now you need to stay in between 10 bits of your maximum heart rate. So you remember we said, for example, if you're 30 years old, you do 180 minus 30 is 150. So you need to train between, ideally, underneath 150, but ideally the best gap is between 140 and 150. So if you start running, you'll get to your pace. Let's say 145 is perfect. Then suddenly it creeps up to 151, 152. So you have to either drop your pace for it to go down, or even stop running and just walk for a couple of minutes while it's settling down, and start again. And at first you will do a lot of start and stop to regulate it. But if you keep to it, and I know it's hard because I think all of us would hate it at first. You have to run very slowly. You've got to do some walking in your run. It gets really frustrated. You get bored. But it doesn't take that long. If you stick to it, you will pass this point, and then you'll start running all the time during your run. And you'll get to a point where your body will know what target you're going for. So you'll feel comfortable at your heart rate. And now, the best way to see your improvement with it is you do what is called a MAF test. So a MAF test is one route. It can be 3 miles, 5 miles, it's up to you. But it needs to be like a round number of miles so you can compare things. It needs to be the same route every time you're going to do the test, usually once a month to see your improvement, and you need to do it at the same time of day in the same condition, so it's as close as possible as being similar. Nutrition is the same, you need to get exactly the same nutrition on the same day so it doesn't make any difference. So you'll do your MAF test, so you run your 3 miles at your MAF pace, your MAF heart rate, and then you look at the pace for every miles, and then you do a comparison every month, and you'll see your pace at the same heart rate is actually going higher. So your heart rate doesn't move, but your pace does pick up. And you do that until you hit a plateau, then you don't see any improvement for 1 or 2 months in your pace. Then you can start building a bit more anaerobic in your training. So you do like your normal MAF run, but let's say the last mile, or it depends like how far you're running, but let's say for the last mile or so, the last 10% of your run, then you go 10 to 15 beats above your maximum heart rate, and that will build your anaerobic, but you're still working on your aerobic. Now, the good thing about this is you're not putting too much strain on your body. So if you're recovering from an injury, or if you try to prevent some, very, very good. It will build your overall fitness, your overall, how you feel in yourself. So it'll help you with sleeping, it'll help you with having more energy during your day. help with regulating your hormones because it's a steady exercise. So it's really good. So also it's very good to improve your fat burning. So when you're in an aerobic stage, you will use your glycogen stores, which is basically your sugar. But with working at your aerobic, it will teach your body to tap in your fat stores, which combined with the nutrition, um, are they going to need any nutrition during your race, and your muscle will benefit better, so you can go on longer run. It's very good for like ultramarathon. Yeah, you would anyway run an ultra probably at your aerobic pace because you have to pace yourself on such a long distance. So it's going to help you with, you're going to get stronger in your mind because you will learn to pace yourself. Um, you will probably get better endurance, you'll increase your energy, and um, because you're going to burn fat rather than sugar, you'll have a better recovery, it won't take as long, and you won't overtrain. That's a big thing, because if you overtrain, you run too much mileage, or you do too much for yourself, it will reflect in your heart rate, so you will have to slow down. So it's kind of like, it's like a leash to help you not to do too much, and not to do too much that will hurt your body. So you don't want to overtrain, because then you get tired, you get injured, and then you just spoil your race and your sport for enjoyment. So you have to keep at it. It's going slow. It's slowing down to get faster. So at first, I was talking to that with my guest. That's after this. Um, when I started, was getting a bit frustrated. I wasn't really believing in it. I was doing it, but I wasn't completely believing in it. I was doubting myself. But I thought I'll stick to it until my next race. And every race I've done on the MAF method, I've improved my PR every time. Been on 5k, been on 10k, been on long run. Every time I just beat my personal record by minutes, not even seconds. I improved by minutes. So then I saw it works. I thought at first, how can you just run very slow when you go to a race? Well, you won't be able to run fast. Actually, I could run faster. So it does work, but you have to have lots of patience and be very strong in your head. I'd recommend it for anybody that's training on long distance. Short distance, yeah, you could, and it will be beneficial, but really long distance is where it works the best. Not only for racing and preparing for race, but for your life in general, it just makes you better. Your nutrition make you feel better. It's all about feeling good about yourself and in yourself. Like, healthy is not eating salad and going to the gym like a crazy man every day. Being healthy, it's about feeling good, feeling good about yourself, feeling good in yourself. Um, so yeah, try it for a little bit, stick to it, and see the difference. Worst case, you haven't lost anything, you just built a bit of aerobic base. That just means you have been jogging for a few weeks rather than going full on it. So yeah, try it. Now, if you start by combining this and the nutrition like we spoke last week, that low carbs, um, you will see some difference. Now, for the rest of this podcast, I've done an interview with a man that's quite inspiring. He's got really tough story, but really inspiring, and it really motivates me for my marathon. So his name is John Ford. He's run the Snowdonia Marathon for, I think he said this year was his 11th time. So enjoy it, and there's lots about history, about training. There's some about nutrition and heart rate. So enjoy his experience. I hope he'll bring you something. Yeah, there you go. And happy running. Keep running.